a biopic of Steve Jobs coming.
That's right. Sony Pictures announced yesterday that Aaron Sorkin, who indeed wrote the screenplay for The Social Network, will be doing the same for the story of Steve Jobs. It's going to be based on the biography of Jobs that was released last year written by Walter Isaacson.
By Walter Isaacson. Now, Aaron Sorkin, that movie, The Social Network, it was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. It won 3, notably Best Adapted Screenplay, which is where Aaron Sorkin comes in. So can we expect something really quite magical here, to sort of coin one of Steve Jobs' phrases?
I expect so. I'm sure we can anticipate some of the signature Sorkin witty banter that you saw on the Social Network and from The West Wing, and I imagine that Sony was quite pleased with the results from Social Network and hope for the same from the Steve Jobs movie.
So we're hearing that maybe Ashton Kutcher will play Steve Jobs. Is that just rumor and speculation at this stage?
Sony did not confirm that information yesterday, so that there certainly are a lot of rumors about that, but the studio didn't release that information.
Okay, who else could possibly be up for it? I mean, there's got to be a lot of people who'd want to play this.
I'm sure there are. I mean, that has been the name that's been associated most prominently with the film at this point, but I would imagine there are a lot of people clamoring for that part.
I bet there are. Now, one of the things we know about The Social Network is a sort of warts and all portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg. Is this going to be, do you think, another warts and all portrayal of Steve Jobs? It's a little different given that he's dead.
Well, it's different because of that. It's also, this will be based on Isaacson's book, and that was a bit warts and all as well. So I would imagine that Aaron Sorkin won't play it safe.
Will not play it. It's safe. So when this came out, how soon can we expect this to sort of go into production, and then when can we go to the movies and actually watch this? I can imagine this will be sold out for weeks. Probably.
There haven't been any firm dates associated with the production, but I would imagine at some point in the next year, you could look for it.
So do biographies as movies, biopics, tend to do well at theaters in general, or are they a bit hit and missy?
I don't think there's a hard and fast rule for that. I think there have been some great successes and some misses as well. So in this case, it's an extremely high-profile name. He passed away not too long ago, and Aaron Sorkin is at this point guaranteed a pretty huge draw.
So I've seen the Walter Isaacson book about Steve Jobs, and it's a pretty thick book. An average movie is about 100 minutes long, as my understanding. They're not going to get all of that in. Do you have any clues as to where they're going to focus on this and where they're not going to focus on the storyline?
That's pretty unclear at this point. I mean, Aaron Sorkin was just hired to write this, so I think it remains to be seen where he chooses to focus his attention. But I imagine that we'll get some more information on that as the process moves along.